What's good, Raider Nation? Buckle up, because we got some electrifying news straight from the Las Vegas Raiders camp that's going to fire you up. The Silver and Black just made a bold move, signing a former Pro Bowl linebacker who's ready to bring some serious heat to our defense. Can you guess who it is? Here's a hint. He's a veteran with a chip on his shoulder and a history of crushing it in the NFL. That's right, Jaylon Smith is back with the Raiders. This is a low-risk, high-reward signing that could shake things up for our linebacker core. Ready to dive into the details? Let's roll. This blockbuster move dropped on May 12, 2025, as reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter, and it's got Raider Nation buzzing. Jaylon Smith, a name that once struck fear into offenses across the league, earned his spot after a standout tryout at the Raiders' rookie minicamp. The team saw something special in him, something that screamed, "This guy's still got it." With new head coach Pete Carroll and GM John Spytek reshaping the roster for a playoff push, this signing feels like a calculated gamble to bolster a defense that's hungry for impact players. The Raiders' linebacker group has been a question mark, with Landon Roberts and Devin White projected as starters, but lacking proven depth behind them. Smith's experience and familiarity with defensive coordinator Patrick Graham's system could be the spark we need. This isn't just a random addition. It's a strategic move to add competition and veteran savvy to a unit that needs it. Imagine Smith flying around Allegiant Stadium, making plays and hyping up the crowd. Can you feel the energy? But here's the big question. Can a guy who sat out all of 2024 still dominate in the NFL? At 29 years old, Smith's got the pedigree, but the league moves fast. His tryout performance clearly impressed the coaching staff, but training camp will be the real test. Raider Nation, what's your vibe on this signing? Is Smith the missing piece for our defense? Or is this a long shot? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this conversation popping. Raider Nation, let's talk about Jaylon Smith's journey. It's a story of grit, redemption, and pure talent. This isn't just any signing. It's a second chance for a former superstar to prove he belongs in the NFL. Back in 2023, Smith suited up for the Raiders in just one game, logging 2 tackles and a 30-6 smackdown of the New York Giants. That brief stint wasn't enough to cement his spot, but it gave him a taste of what it means to wear the silver and black. Now, he's back with a vengeance, ready to show the league he's not done yet. Smith's history with Patrick Graham is a huge piece of this puzzle. In 2021, he played under Graham with the New York Giants, soaking up the defensive schemes that Graham still runs in Las Vegas. That familiarity could give Smith a leg up as he competes for snaps in a linebacker room that's screaming for depth. The Raiders aren't just throwing darts here. They're banking on Smith's knowledge of the system and his hunger to revive his career. Let's not forget the context. The Raiders are in win-now mode. After a 2024 season that saw them miss the playoffs again, Pete Carroll's got this team fired up to compete in a brutal AFC West. Smith's signing is a signal that no stone will be left unturned in the quest for a postseason berth. But can he shake off the rust after a year away? His last full season was 2022 with the Giants, where he posted 88 tackles in 13 games. That's solid, but it's not 2019 Pro Bowl level. So what's the deal, Raider Nation? Can Smith turn back the clock and become a key piece for the Las Vegas Raiders? Or is the NFL just too fast for a guy who's been out of the game? Hit the comments with your takes, and let's see who's riding with Smith and who's skeptical. Let's rewind to Jaylon Smith's glory days, Raider Nation, because this guy was a straight-up beast. Drafted in the second round by the Dallas Cowboys in 2016, Smith was a tackling machine, hitting 100-plus tackles in 3 of his 5 seasons with America's team. In 2019, he earned a Pro Bowl nod after posting a monstrous 142 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. That's the kind of production that makes quarterbacks sweat and running backs rethink their life choices. His time in Dallas wasn't without challenges, though. A devastating knee injury in the 2016 Fiesta Bowl at Notre Dame, where he tore his ACL and LCL, put his career in jeopardy before it even started. Yet Smith battled back, proving his resilience and earning a massive contract extension with the Cowboys. That's the kind of heart and determination he's bringing to Las Vegas. Fast forward today, and the Raiders are betting on that same fire. With the 5th most cap space in the NFL, Per recent reports, they can afford to take a chance on a player like Smith without breaking the bank. If he can return even a fraction of his Pro Bowl form, this could be a steal. But the clock is ticking. Training camp is around the corner, and he'll need to prove he's still got the speed and instincts. What's your take, Raider Nation? Is Smith's comeback story about to inspire us all, or is his best football behind him? And how do you think he stacks up against other linebackers like Roberts and White? Let's get those comments flowing. All right, let's break down why this signing is such a big deal for the Las Vegas Raiders. Our linebacker core has been a work in progress, and that's putting it nicely. Elandon Roberts and Devin White are solid, but behind them, it's a bit of a mystery. Enter Jaylon Smith, a veteran with 626 career tackles, 11 sacks, and 6 forced fumbles across 88 games. Those aren't just numbers. They're proof he can still make plays when he's on his game. The Raiders made this move official after Smith impressed at rookie minicamp, alongside other signings like edge rusher Joffrey Harvey and safety Jonathan Sutherland. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. It was strategic. With Pete Carroll preaching competition at every position, Smith's experience and versatility could push younger players like Wesley Steiner to step up or risk getting left behind. This is a no-lose situation for the Raiders. If Smith doesn't pan out, they can cut him after training camp with minimal financial hit. But if he balls out, we got a former Pro Bowler on a budget ready to wreak havoc. His prior stint with the Raiders in 2023 means he's not walking into a completely new environment, which could help him hit the ground running. Raider Nation, what's the ceiling for Jaylon Smith in 2025? Could he start, or is he more of a depth piece? And how do you think this signing impacts the younger linebackers on the roster? Drop your predictions below, and let's keep the hype going. Raider Nation, let's talk about the stakes for Jaylon Smith. This isn't just another contract. It's a shot at an NFL comeback. After being waived by the Raiders in 2023 and spending time on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad without seeing action, Smith sat out all of 2024. That's a long time away from the gridiron, and at 30 years old by the start of the season, the clock is ticking. But if anyone's got the pedigree to pull this off, it's Smith. His career stats are legit. 626 tackles, 24 tackles for loss, 21 passes defense, and 6 forced fumbles. He's been a starter, a captain, and a Pro Bowler. But the NFL is a what have you done lately league, and Smith's last productive season was 3 years ago. The Raiders are giving him a lifeline, but he'll need to outshine a crowded linebacker room in training camp. Smith's versatility could be his ticket. He's played both inside and outside linebacker, and his experience in Patrick Graham's system means he can pick up the playbook quickly. But can he still cover tight ends like Travis Kelce? Can he stop the run like he did in his prime? These are the questions that will define his comeback. What do you think, Raider Nation? Is Smith ready to silence the doubters? Or is this too tall an order? And who else in the linebacker room do you think he's competing with for snaps? Let's get those comments rolling. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2025. This Jaylon Smith signing is just one piece of a massive offseason overhaul. Under Pete Carroll and John Spytek, the Raiders are building a roster that's all about competition and upside. They traded for quarterback Geno Smith, drafted Heisman runner-up Ashton Janney, and now they're taking flyers on veterans like Jaylon Smith. The linebacker position is a hot spot. As The Athletic pointed out, it's one of the most unsettled groups on the roster. Smith's signing signals that the Raiders aren't satisfied with their current options and are willing to roll the dice on a proven talent. With training camp looming, every snap will be a battle, and Smith's performance could set the tone for how this defense comes together. This move fits the Raiders' aggressive approach. They've got the cap space to experiment, and Carroll's track record shows he loves players with something to prove. Smith's signing could also light a fire under younger linebackers, pushing them to elevate their game. Can Smith be the veteran leader this unit needs? Raider Nation, how does Jaylon Smith fit into the Raiders' plans? Is he a stopgap, a starter, or something else entirely? And what other moves should Spytek make to shore up this defense? Hit the comments, and let's break it down together. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. What does Jaylon Smith bring to the table for the Raiders' defense? First off, his versatility is a massive plus. In his prime, Smith could blitz, cover, and stuff the run with the best of them. His 2019 Pro Bowl season with the Cowboys saw him rack up 142 tackles, showing he can be a three-down linebacker when he's locked in. Patrick Graham's defense thrives on players who can adapt, and Smith's prior experience in the system gives him a head start. Whether it's lining up in the box to stop a running back or dropping into coverage against a tight end, Smith has the tools to contribute. His football IQ is another asset. He's seen every offensive look imaginable over his 88-game career. But here's the catch. He'll need to prove he's still got the speed and instincts after a year away. Training camp will be his proving ground, and he'll be going up against a stacked AFC West with quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Can he hang? Raider Nation, are you hyped for Jaylon Smith's return, or are you skeptical about his fit? And who else in the linebacker room do you think steps up in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the energy high. Raider Nation, we're wrapping up this Jaylon Smith saga, but the excitement is just getting started. This signing is a classic Raiders move, bold, gritty, and full of potential. Whether Smith becomes a starter, a key rotational piece, or just a veteran presence, his return to Las Vegas is a storyline we'll be glued to all offseason. With Pete Carroll's competitive culture and Patrick Graham's defensive genius, the stage is set for Smith to make some noise. As we look ahead, the Raiders are building something special. With Geno Smith under center, Max Crosby wreaking havoc, and now Jaylon Smith adding depth, the Silver and Black are gearing up for a playoff run. This is a team that's not afraid to take risks, and Smith's signing is proof of that. Can you feel the momentum building? What's your bold prediction for Jaylon Smith this season, Raider Nation? Will he crack the starting lineup, or is he fighting for a roster spot? And what other storylines are you watching as we head into training camp? Share your takes in the comments, and let's keep the passion alive. If you're as pumped as I am about this Las Vegas Raiders news, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with your fellow Raiders fans, and let's grow this community. Stay locked in for more Raiders news, breakdowns, and hype, because the Silver and Black are coming for it all in 2025. Until next time, Raider Nation, let's ride.